accurately has come. If that's of any comfort to me. We're going to get away from Earth, and we're going to talk about NASA on the other side with you as the space agency is pushing back its next 2 Artemis moon missions by a week. Dan Rifkin will join us.
Your update from the CTV Ottawa newsroom starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Blaine Winterstorm. Right now we're at
Slight right onto the Ontario 417 West Rim, then merge onto Trans-Canada Highway.
Your full forecast is coming up first, your top story. And we begin with the storm. Environment Canada senior climatologist says the winter storm approaching Ottawa and hitting us now could cause power issues. David Phillips says a combination of hours worth of freezing rain and strong wind gusts tonight could put a strain on branches and power lines. Details CTV News, this storm has more in common with something we see in the early spring, which makes it more unpredictable. It's unclear exactly when snow could change to freezing rain or to rain tonight. Ottawa could get in the neighborhood of 20 centimeters of snow. The City of Ottawa issuing a winter weather parking ban ahead of the storm. The ban will be in effect between 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Wednesday. Only vehicles with on-street parking permits can park on streets during the parking ban. OT Transport warning commuters to expect delays, especially tomorrow morning. Palestinian Canadian families hoping to bring trapped loved ones to Canada from Gaza are vying for a limited number of visas today. The expansion of the visa program will extend to parents, grandparents, adult children, grandchildren, and siblings of Canadians. But as Canadian press reporter Karen Rebo explains, there's anger over the number of visas available.
The program offers visas to a maximum of 1,000 people with extended family members in this country. It would allow them to take refuge in Canada for 3 years if their families are willing to financially support them during that time. The National Council of Canadian Muslims has criticized staff. Carolyn Capston echoed those frustrations. You know, Ottawa has welcomed more than 210,000 Ukrainians fleeing Russian attacks on their country. He suggests that said Palestinian people's lives don't matter.
Immigration, Refugee, and Citizens Canada says the number of visas reflects the challenges of moving people out of Gaza through the tightly controlled border with Egypt. There was less empty office space available in the city at the end of last year. A new report shows Ottawa's office vacancy rate decreased to 13.3% in the final 3 months of 2023. Officials say the drop is mainly due to the removal of 110 O'Connor Street. The vacant office building will be torn down and turned into a mostly residential high-rise property. Canada's vacancy rate, 15.1%. First, Canada's global annual heat record in 2023. That's according to a European climate agency that says last year was 1.48 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial times. Associated Press reporter Rita Foley says the rising heat has had a worldwide impact.
The record heat is miserable and deadly for so many North America, Europe, China, and many other places. And scientists say a warming climate is also to blame for more extreme weather events, like the drought that devastated the Horn of Africa, the torrential downpours that wiped out dams and killed thousands in Libya, and those wildfires in Canada that fouled the air from North America to Europe.
The climate agency says this month is on track to be so warm that the world will go past that 1.5-degree threshold for the first time over a 12-month period. Wrap up the day with our nightly CTV News Ottawa newsletter. Check out the best local content at CTV News, CTV Morning Live, and News Talk Live at UCFRA. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. This is in the CTV Weather Center.
Thanks, Graham. Snow will continue this evening, and we'll also get heavier cloudy skies, some ice pellets in the mix as well. It'll feel like -11 with the wind chill. Overnight snow likely turning into some freezing rain, feeling like -7 with the wind. On Wednesday morning, light rain will fall in the capital with a 40% chance of mixed precipitation in the afternoon. 4 degrees is the high. It'll feel like -8 at night with some light snow expected. Thursday, a mix of sunny clouds in the forecast. More light snow, -11 with the wind chill. Here, Country 94 is Ottawa's home for country music with the stars like Luke Bryan, Morgan Wallen, and Carrie Underwood. Listen anywhere, anytime with the free iHeartRadio app. Taking a look at the roads with time saver traffic, very heavy congestion on the 417 westbound from the St. Laurent Boulevard all the way to Pinecrest. Eastbound side is very slow moving from Woodruff to Rochester Street between Nicholas and St. Laurent Boulevard as well. The rest of the highway, you can expect moderate congestion over on the 174 heavy delay eastbound from the west. So just down to Montreal Road, westbound side, a heavy backup from John Johnson to Montreal Road. Over on the 416, there has been a collision just after West Puck Club, so especially slow moving there. Over on Gatineau Bridges, a heavy delay heading towards Gatineau on all the Champlain, Fort Page, Chaudière, and McDonald's Parkway. Also many collisions in St. Laurent near Belfast, Cranford at Woodruff. Following at Marivale, Prince of Wales at Coast Drive, and on Leitrim at Albion. Daily Grand Lottery bonus draws January 15th and January 18th. And one of the 3 bonus prizes of $25,000 a year for life. Use some smart, play responsibly. Weather and traffic, I'm Ryan Cole.
That's the latest from the CTV newsroom. I'm Graham Richardson. Your next news at 4 o'clock.
Live and local breaking news.
When you want it.
Anytime.
There's a 22-minute slowdown
Download
in
the
2 kilometers.
CTV News app now. Hi, it's Batman Stu from Bargain Ford. Electric vehicles are the future, whether you like it or not. This dealership will get you there. Okay. Let Bargain Ford's top team of EV specialists educate you on your total cost of ownership savings by driving EV. Their team will be with you the entire process, including helping you set up your home charging solution. Everyday commuter, get to know the Bargain Ford advantage. With no obligation consultation on shipping to EV. Only at Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store and #1 in Ford EV, BargainFord.com. When you're working at a Planet Fitness, it's a judgment-free zone, so you can really step up your workout. That's why we've got treadmills. And our team members are here to help, so you can be carefree with the free weights. Throw some balance balls, bikes, tables, kettlebells, and steering equipment. But no pressure.
Get in the judgment-free zone. Get started at Planet Fitness for 24 cents down and then $15 a month. No commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 12th. $49 annual fee applies. See Home Club for details.
Take us with you on your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto through your iHeartRadio app. It's Ottawa Now with Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA and the iHeartRadio Talk Network.
A highly anticipated lunar orbit and a return to the moon by humans after more than 50 years pushed back. Some disappointing news today from NASA that it has had to delay this Artemis mission. This is the reconnaissance mission to orbit the moon. It's apparently been pushed back to September 2025. And then Artemis 3 is pushed back to September 2026. Joining us on the line, CTV Science and Technology Specialist, Dan Riskin. Hey, Dan.
It's a tough week to be excited about going to the moon. It's been setback after setback, 2 days in a row of this noise. I'll tell you, it's hard.
But at the same time, I'd rather that we're prepared and we don't have any problems before we launch. They did say contractors need more time to overcome challenges. What did you make of that?
Yeah, well, I don't think I was very surprised. Most of the reading I've been doing from people that really follow this stuff very, very closely suggests that the timelines were ambitious and were sort of best-case scenarios. And there have been little hiccups. One of the big hiccups, so when the Artemis mission, just to get everybody up to speed, the Artemis mission is our return to the moon. And Artemis 1 already happened. That was when we sent a spacecraft around the moon, and it came back and it landed, and it was the same spacecraft that people are going to ride in, but there was no one on board. That worked, and we were all happy. Artemis 2 is where Jeremy Hansen, the Canadian, along with 3 U.S. astronauts, are going to go do that, basically the same trip, going around the moon and then coming back and splashing down in the ocean, making sure that all works. And then Artemis 3 is the really exciting one where people get out and walk around on the surface of the moon, which no human has done since 1972 when the U.S. was there. That's 50 years ago, so 52 years. So that's the mission as it's been laid out. And when Artemis 1 came back, it was a perfect success, but there was this little detail that the heat shield burned up a little bit more than it was supposed to when it came back into the atmosphere. And it's fine for, they had enough heat shield there. It's supposed to sort of burn away and disappear as it's coming in, but you kind of want to know exactly what to expect and then have your spacecraft do exactly what you thought it was going to do. And the fact that there was a discrepancy between how much that heat shield was supposed to burn up and how much it did burn up, all of a sudden sort of put the timeline, this ambitious timeline, sort of in question. And that has not yet been addressed publicly anyway. They haven't quite said what their plan is to deal with that. And now today's announcement says that there are also some issues with batteries, that when they're shaken in a way that simulates what would happen on a flight, the batteries aren't holding up as well as they would hope, so those need to be replaced. And so those kinds of delays are delaying Jeremy Hansen's trip out into space around the moon and coming back, which in turn delays the trip after that.
I don't want to seem jaded. Maybe it's the news that airlines have found loose parts in other door panels after that nightmare. And I'm not even a nervous flyer, but that video and that story on Alaska Airlines with the door plug that blew out and what the pilots had to calmly deal with. They did their job very well that day, being calm and getting everybody to safety. Maybe it's that, or maybe it's that I've been burnt so many times with Ottawa's blinking LRT system and all of the problems and the issues that have cropped up. But do you think that they're going to make enough progress to actually get it to those estimated dates? Or do you think it'll be pushed back again?
To me, the thing about, I don't feel this way about the LRT, but I do feel this way about science. It's a journey that happens, right? Like, with the LRT, just get it fixed. Like, get it working. We have the similar problems in Toronto. When transit needs to work, that's a non-starter, and it's not rocket science, it's bus science, and I feel like we've had buses working for some time. So I get pretty worked up about that not being completed on a good timeline. But
you're on the right show then.
Yeah, but when it comes to, I know a lot of people agree with that, but when it comes to going to space, stakes are different. I mean, we're talking about pushing humanity farther.
At the EY Center. Whether building your dream home or refreshing your space one room at a time, find the right fit for your project. See me and hundreds of trusted professionals, plus get great deals, fresh ideas, and inspiration all under one roof at the Ottawa Home and Remodeling Show presented by Reno Assistance. Buy tickets early and save at ottawahomeandremodelingshow.com. The biggest names in talk radio, right here on News Talk 580 CFRA. Bill Carroll.
The challenge is not getting ahead, it's keeping up.
That is where we're at. Silver lining in all of this.
Vashy Capello.
How were you able to convince them to get the deal done?
Christy Cameron. It is an emotionally charged issue.
News Talk 580 CFRA. Ottawa's #1 news talk station.
Always streaming on the iHeartRadio app or your smart speaker.
We are Ottawa's home for live, local breaking news. Do my little boo thing, so I'll give a hoot what you do think, 'cause I know you little boo thing. On the go? Take News Talk 580 CFRA Ottawa with you. Download, listen, and learn through the iHeartRadio app. Now back to Ottawa Now with Christy Cameron.
10 to 3 on the show. A minor soccer association in Quebec's Eastern Townships says it plans to start equipping referees with body cameras next season. Not the first time we've heard of this. Ontario Soccer Association in 11 districts decided to employ this because they had so many issues, not only between the parents, but also between the parents and the players and the referees. And they've been actually doing this pilot project to combat referee abuse in sport since May of 2023. And they also launched an anti-abuse campaign. So it's not just in Quebec, it's here in Ontario, and it's a broader issue, I think, about the quality and the level of sportsmanship. Martin Tremblay is the president of that minor soccer association in Windsor, Quebec. That's about 20 kilometers north of Sherbrooke, Quebec. He says the teenage referees are increasingly facing awful commentary from parents. Take a listen.
Many cases of parents and some players just argue with our referees. We have many difficulties to retain our referees. They are between 14 and 16 years old. Last year, 2 of them just get out the field and cry and just we don't came next year. So I have the idea for the camera on each center referee.
I'm curious as to how this idea was born. Did they see what was happening in Ontario? Was it coming from the parents? Was it coming from the players or the coaches? And we'll actually hear from the person, the referee coordinator for the Eastern Township region in Quebec, who hears from all of those people. I also want to hear from you. My question for you today is...
Only one question.
Question of the day on News Talk 580, the FRA.
What do you think of this idea? As a parent, would you support it? Do you think it's necessary? And on the broader issue, when you zoom out across various sports and various leagues at various levels, do you think that sportsmanship is on the decline in youth activity? What have you seen? Daniel Saint-Martin is on the line right now. He's the referee coordinator that I mentioned. Thank you so much for taking the time.
You're welcome.
What are you hearing from the coaches?
We have a problem, well, since the pandemic, we started back playing, and we think that the parents, players, coach are more and more unable to accept the decision of the referee, and they verbally abuse them.
What type of abuse are we talking about?
Some shouting, some intimidation, some, as an adult, 6'2", adult going to a referee, a young female referee, and standing over her and saying that doesn't, that's not okay, or stuff like that. The referee aren't able to deal with this.
Standing over her.
Yeah. Sometimes we have some moment that those type of things happen.
And how do the players take that?
Well, at the moment, the referee are almost always alone. There's the referee, there are two assistant referee, and every other people are against them. Some players, when there's some abuse or some shouting, will come to the referee, surround him or protect him, but mostly when there is only shouting and come on ref, you need to wear glasses and stuff like that, people go up. That's normal.
You described a parent towering over a referee, angry about a call or the way that the game was going. What about player-on-player violence? Is that an issue as well that you're seeing?
Well, we're seeing some, but it's not something I really pay that much attention. There's always going to be contact and players aren't argue, but I haven't seen that much more than before. There's always some players that lose their mind, but that doesn't happen often. And often when we're talking about adult players, they are playing against adult other players, not an adult against a pilot project in FIFA all across the world. When they're starting to do that in a youth program, like you said, there's Ontario doing it. We have other thing that was put in to remind people that they're dealing with youth referee and stuff like that. And there's some positive impact, but there's still room for improvement. And we're hoping that this might be the thing that will change something. And mostly that's going to give security to referee, use a young referee and the people refereeing.
I know that violence in sports and people going a little overboard, as you described it, is not new. But we're seeing more and more stories like this. You know, your soccer league, also a minor hockey league in Newfoundland that did away with handshakes before the game because of a decline in sportsmanship. People behaving badly, players and parents. Do you think that we're seeing sportsmanship suffering? Is this a problem? Do you think that you know, people are just not behaving the way they used to, that it's getting worse than before?
I think it is getting worse. Like I said, I think that the 2 years where mostly since COVID, the people got out and all wanted, I don't know, they have spent the courage and well, it's a game, you miss a call, go for it, and you've seen it way worse than when I started.
Even from the time that you began?
Yeah, well...
And when was that? What year was that?
I've been a referee for about 40 years. Well, I've been a referee for 30 years.
It's been about 40 years. I mean, and I've been in soccer for all my life. I'm 51 now. I'd say the last 10 years it started to go bad, and the last few years it's getting worse.
Thank you so much for taking the time. I greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So there you hear from the Quebec Soccer League and why they're embarking on this. Daniel St. Martin, who's the referee coordinator for the Eastern Township region and who's been a ref for over 40 years. He believes it's getting worse. Do you think sportsmanship, especially in youth activities, in soccer, in hockey, whatever sport it may be, that it's on the decline? That's our question of the day, coming up next.
This newscast is brought to you in part by Jason Ambera from Mortgage Alliance. Learn more at jasonambera.com. CFRA AM Ottawa. Wilson. Listen anywhere, anytime with the free iHeartRadio app. On the dollar, Allier's Jewelers still has a great selection of jewelry, including gold and diamond jewelry, gemstone and estate jewelry, engagement rings, earrings, and more at low prices with selected items selling down to as low as only 39 cents on the dollar. Allier's Jewelers, 50 Spark Street, Ottawa, and on Facebook.
Reed Heating and Cooling are offering their winter specials on gas furnaces, heat pumps, and state-of-the-art air quality filtration systems for your home. Now offering the quietest, most efficient gas furnace you can buy, the Lennox SOP 99 with 99% efficiency. Reed Heating and Cooling, a local family business specializing in comfort for over 50 years. And that's all you really want, right? A comfortable home for you and your family. Call today while quantities last. 233-1115 or reedheatingandcooling.ca.
I'm Joe Franciota, the owner and operator of Orchardview by the Mississippi in Almont. Over the last 20 years, my family has owned and operated 4 Orchardview retirement communities. I take it back 24 years ago when my father, Tony, came up with the idea of building and running a retirement home. Back then, there were very few retirement homes, and the ones that were around were very old and run down. I was 37 years old at the time, and I thought, how boring would it be to look after a bunch of old people? Well, was I wrong? The past 24 years are the most rewarding, fulfilling years of my life. Our teams appreciate everything, big or small, we do for them. And if there's something they may not like, they're not afraid to tell us. Here at Orchardview, we encourage our staff to come to work and even pretend they're at home with their parents or grandparents. We'll be
I think this is a good idea to just have them use this tool to protect themselves.
Texter here, youth sports. My son plays competitive soccer, and the coaches and some parents' behavior is appalling and embarrassing. I usually end up leaving halfway through the game to go for a walk away from the field.
Yeah, some of the energy in those sports games. I can remember seeing parents expelled from, different sports games when I was a kid. There's another texter saying in Ottawa, police don't even have body cameras.
Another texter here. My team goes to say thank you to the refs after every game. Well, then I guess your league doesn't need body cameras, but apparently all these other leagues are struggling with it. That's how it should be. Good game, high five. I played soccer growing up, and I saw some gnarly run-ins here and there, mainly accidental, where somebody took out a goalie or somebody shoved another player, and it's just because they were careening around a corner or they were headbutting the ball and then they headbutted another girl. And everybody always apologized, and sometimes it got a little tense. But this was house league, Mitch. This wasn't particularly competitive soccer. Even then, the parents never got involved. There was one dad, I remember, on one of my teams who would get really riled up, and he would yell a lot, "Go, Kelly, go! No, Kelly! You're messing it up!" And there was some profanity here and there. But he was usually at his own kid. I kind of felt bad for Kelly.
Poor Kelly. But, you know what? Sometimes you do get kind of online.
On sportsmanship?
On sportsmanship. So, I don't know, it'd be interesting to see if there's a decline in the numbers of, such cases reported.
I'm trying to get a sense here on the text board as to how many people believe this is the right way to go. Eric from Orleans just cracked a joke. He said, "I'm okay with cameras as long as they don't catch me speeding." It seems like most of the listeners agree this is more of a problem now, and they think that cameras are okay as long as they don't compromise the privacy of the kids, as in the videos aren't leaked online and shared on TikTok or Instagram. It seems okay. It seems like most people think it's an okay direction to pursue.
Yeah, I mean, if the parent is really out of line and chasing someone into a car or threatening with acts of violence, if it does go online, I don't really care. I think that you're going to get your just desserts if people see you behaving that way.
You're going to get your comeuppance.
Yeah.
You're going to get a call from the police service in that case, because that's criminal harassment.
That is exactly what that is.
But that's beyond polite respect for one another and sportsmanship. That is so bad that that's verging on the criminal.
Nothing wrong with saying that you disagree with the call, questioning the call.
Yep.
But if you're behaving that badly, then I think whatever comes is justified.
Tim in Stittsville. Hi, Christy. The need for cameras on referees for sports is a byproduct of everyone gets a ribbon and games without a score. It will only increase as parents teach their kids to be entitled. I vehemently disagree. I don't think the aggression from the parents that is then put onto the referees has anything to do with the culture that you're describing. And I don't even know if that culture is in existence in this particular league. This seems like a byproduct of hostile parents who are unhappy with themselves or their kids, who are overly aggressive and don't understand societal boundaries and what is acceptable and what isn't.
What does this say about our culture that people think that this is okay, and then that everybody around them, parents around them, kind of let this happen as well?
Also, talk about punching down.
Yeah.
You're a grown man, you're a grown adult, woman, parent, whatever. Going after a teenager?
Unbelievable, right?
At a kid's sporting match. I don't think that has anything to do with the whole participation trophy culture that this texter is describing, so I strongly disagree with that. Another person here said, yeah, I'm okay with it. I think body cameras are okay. Youth sports can get out of hand. Any other ones here in support of the body cameras? It seems like overall people are okay with them. Chris in South Dundas, in minor hockey, the refs under 16 wear green armbands to demonstrate to parents that it's just a kid. Still doesn't work.
It's just a game. I think someone should say that to the parents. Just a game.
423. This is a great debate. All right, Ryan Knowles is standing by. I think if you're yelling and berating a referee that's a teenager, you probably need to go talk about your feelings. Because there's probably something going on there that's a little bit deeper. Some unresolved emotions.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
That's just where my gaze happened to drift. I like to make eye contact with my team, Chris. I'm not putting this on you, but yeah. Ryan Knowles with time-saver traffic and weather.
Heavy snowfall tonight, cloudy skies. It'll feel like -11 with the wind chill with some ice pellets in the mix. Overnight snow will turn into some freezing rain, feeling like -7. Light rain continuing Wednesday morning with a 40% chance of mixed precipitation in the afternoon. 4 degrees is the high. It'll feel like -8 with the wind chill at night. Potentially some light snow then as well. Thursday, a mix of sun and clouds in the forecast. Periods of light snow, -11 with the wind chill. Taking a look at the roads with time-saver traffic, it's going to be a long delay pretty much wherever you're going, especially on the highways. Westbound side of the Queensway, backed up from St. Laurent Boulevard all the way to Pinecrest. Eastbound between Maitland and the 174 split. The rest of the highway, you can expect moderate congestion over on the 174. Heavy delay eastbound between the split and Montreal Road. The rest of that highway, you can expect moderate congestion as well. 416, moderate delay going both ways, especially more toward Ottawa over on Gatineau bridges. Heavy backup heading toward Gatineau on the Chaudière crossing, the Portage Bridge, and the McDonald-Cartier. There has been a collision on the McDonald-Cartier heading toward Gatineau. And there has been tons of collisions as well in the city to report. Merivale near Dorchester, St. Laurent near Belfast, Strandherd at Woodruff, Colonel By between Bank Street and Broughton, Riverside South at Brookfield, another on Riverside going northbound near Walkley, Merivale near Kirkwood, Davidson Road west of Conroy, on Carling at Merivale, and on Meacham at Albion. With weather and traffic, I'm Ryan Knowles.
This is News Talk 580, CFRA. The holiday season is officially behind us. The eggnog is gone and the decorations will soon be packed away. But maybe not Carol's next door. She leaves hers up all year long. I've never understood why. With Sunwing Vacations, say goodbye to January blues and hello to savings. Picture this.